Welcome home, alums. I'm so excited to show you the Adelaide Cobb Ward Classic Building renovations. We are really thrilled that Higley Company and Gund Architecture have helped make this a reality. This transformation has been over 12 months. Actually, altogether it'll be 18 months. And we're really excited to share it with you. So come on in. When you come into school these days, we have lots of opportunities for safety. So it looks a little different when you walk in, not just the renovation, but also our special COVID care. So we get our, well, I usually have my mask on. Here we go, we get our temperature taken. We get a little bit of hand sanitizer here. And we start our day. When you walk into HB now, it's light and airy. The idea that the architects had was to connect the light from one side of the building to the other side of that building. That kind of brightness and beauty of what a classic building built in the 1920s really has naturally. And that now, instead of walking in and kind of seeing a lot of offices, you come right into the admissions waiting room. We've opened up this space so that many of the visitors can come, whether you're coming from prime or middle or upper school admissions. You can sit here and watch the girls in the hallway come back and forth and through their class day. We really like that this is kind of the immediate, welcoming, warm living room at HB. And the admissions offices now have a suite, which is really nice. Much of the furniture, by the way, is just COVIDized. We're still in that COVID space. So, but and it will get delivered this summer. But in here we have the upper school admissions office, the middle school admissions office. We have the data office back here and the director of admissions. If you'll notice, and you can kind of peek into her office, you see some beautiful wood floors. Part of this was to make sure we could preserve the integrity and the architecture of that 1927 building. So where we could keep all of those pieces, especially with the windows and the wood and even the lighting, have a lot of integrity to the earlier influences. A historically modern building, as we like to say. So come on, we'll go to the classroom. So welcome to the Ann Cutter Coburn room. In many ways, this room is really preserved to what it's always been, that kind of social, ceremonial room here in the classic building. And now it has quite a lot of the modern accoutrements of whether it's the screen or the modern system for sound. And we just wanted to make sure that we could present the girls' works or have visitors and be able to do so with just the best equipment. It also now has HVAC systems. We have air conditioning in here. So by preserving the beauty of this space while modernizing it, it's really, this is what we've come out with. And today actually is our very first event, which I'm excited about. We're celebrating the groundbreaking of the tennis and turf field. So we will have, for the first time actually, this year, we will have a few folks come in. I'm not so sure we'll fill up quite as many chairs that are here, but come on outside. I want to show you the patio as well. Graduation courtyard, I always like to say, is in the middle of the hug, the two arms of the east and the west wing kind of hugging the fountain here. And we are really excited to have graduation here on June 4th. The girls voted and we had a couple of options, but they really wanted to be here and we're glad to celebrate with them. This patio was also a part of the renovation in that we wanted to restore and make more secure the walls But it also has been a great opportunity to be outside during the school year, the pandemic. People have lunch out here, we've had teachers have class out here, and I'm very grateful to the Hathaway Brown Parent Association for buying all of the outdoor furniture, the iron furniture that we have out here. It's really beautiful and in high use for sure. This is a destination these days, and on days like this, who could blame them? It's a really great place to come out and be with friends and study. So here we go. I just snuck into Arate Calabre's, our French teacher's room. Hi Arate, thank you for that. Yeah, and this is the new classrooms, and they were designed and modeled after what teachers really wanted. Part of this is that we have whiteboard walls on every wall, so that you can get up and immediately conjugate a French verb, or do a math problem, or share an idea, which is really exciting. In the center of the room is some really important technology. This is called an owl, and it enables the entire classroom to Zoom or Microsoft Meet with their classmates, should we have people who are at HB at home or virtually engaging in class. It enables us to have a discussion because the camera follows the sound. So it can be a discussion, that dynamic that our girls really enjoy, listening, learning from their peers, as well as their teacher. And then we really did quite a big investment in technology. This is called a Clever Touch machine, and you kind of sometimes see them on ESPN sometimes, or on CNN. You can do so many things, bringing up from the internet, sending PDFs to your class, having the girls and the students share what they're doing and put maybe a couple examples of their work on the Clever Touch. Is a highly interactive, important part of the classroom of the future. We want this to be a collaborative classroom, a cross-functional dynamics, really flexible space, so that we can make sure that they're learning for the future, building their own future. And it's a big part of how these were designed. They were designed with the voices of the teachers and really thinking about the future of where our girls are going. And it's really fun. We also have a unique lighting system. Actually, this is a great moment where you can see this in action. A daylight harvesting system. There is an optimal amount of learning light, and right now it's calibrated that only one side of the room needs light because the other side of the room near the natural light is getting enough. So it really helps us be environmental at the same time as creating the optimal learning experience. So all of this has gone into this design. And again, you look at the floor, it's the original 1927 wood and the original windows. I think they were updated in the 90s, but the original shape of those windows that gives this building its classic look. All right, we'll go to a couple more spaces. Our building project is a phased project. Phase 1 was the main hall, or what we call the north wing. Phase 2 is this east wing, and I'm really excited about this. Phase 3 is upstairs, and that right now is under renovation. And phase 4 is the west wing, where the brown bag will be, and a few more classrooms. But this east wing just opened up 2 weeks ago, so the girls are very excited about it. You'll notice there's a lot of white on the walls, and we're going to use this summer to really think about what's in our archives, think about the donor plaques and the history of HP and what belongs where. And we also want to make sure we showcase student art. Our artists are just tremendous, and we really want to make sure that they have an authentic audience and that they can curate what their collection as they make it in the art room. So come on down here. I think this used to be the middle school wing, and then it was the quote classic college counseling and math offices. But these are really terrific. We'll go down here. Let's go down here. Hi, Deontay. Oh, this is a good one. Ooh. We'll just take a quick peek. Hi, we're interrupting. We're doing a little video for Alumni Week, and look, we have one of our faculty members here.
Yes.
Giving a little meeting here. Tell me, actually, what do you guys think of the space?
It is very needed right now. It's a nice refresh for what we have right now, and to fit the needs of what we are trying to do academically, it's a great learning environment.
That's great. How about you? What do you think of the space?
I love all the sunlight, and I love that we've kept the wood along the bottoms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of the appointments of keeping what's classic and beautiful, but modernizing it at the same time. Yeah. One of the freshmen just told me she thought it was very sophisticated. Very excited. Thank you. Let's go into here. We'll go into this one too. You'll notice that we have the old desks. I am so grateful to our director of plant and property, Terry Churchill. I think these desks may have been from the 1950s, and we had stored them in the attic. And they came in such handy when we had to do away with some of those Harkness tables. The Harkness tables are in storage. We'll bring them back because our girls really loved that idea of you have a seat at the table, at a boardroom kind of table, and you can discuss. That Harkness pedagogy is also key to many of our humanities classes. But now, because of COVID, we have individual desks, which only go to the retro feel to some of this historically modern and retro at the same time. We will get some of this furniture upgraded this summer. One of the key parts of this architecture has been creating these nodes, or what we like to call living rooms. And so when you walk down the hall, you come to an open space just like this. And we hope to have couches and areas, tables for the girls to work in. And this really is that kind of, there's not a threshold where you have to open a door and be welcomed into a space, but rather it kind of envelops you. All of the wings will have these living rooms. And we love that. That's the sisterhood, that's the camaraderie, that's what we want HB also to be about. Not just academic excellence, not just empowered girls and certainly knowledge and action, but those lifelong friendships that you remember. And we're really hoping architecturally these spaces create those opportunities and reinforce that really important part of who we are. Around the nodes, or these living rooms, are offices, and here in the East Wing is the college counseling. And so we're thrilled that college counselors will naturally interact with students of all ages and get to know them on their journey at HB. We thought that this was really important and an exciting innovation in the architecture. So, you'll get to see more of these nodes as the renovation continues. One of the things that the teachers really, when we were listening to them about what they needed in classrooms, they wanted space that they could really rearrange furniture easily. And they also wanted the same technology in every classroom, because sometimes you're in different classrooms with different classes. Just easier to be able to already know what kind of technology exists. So the uniformity in the technology is really important. You know, what's nice about this too, you know, we have teachers who are very tall. This is clearly a tall teacher who was in here before. But these naturally can kind of go up and down. So you can really, you know, manipulate it to what you need. The other piece of this is with so many whiteboard walls around the room, you could be at the front of the room, so to speak, at one side, or the other side. That, quote, the sage on the stage way of teaching really isn't forward-looking. We really want to be that guide on the side, and also listen to the girls' voices. They're the ones who founded the school many years ago, so having them drive conversations and having them own and have that empowerment of their learning is a really important philosophical design piece of what the architect heard was important to us. David Zank has worked here at HB for over 20 years. And I giggle because every time he came when I was first here, he would always ask for a tour. And I kept saying, well, David, you know your way around here. And he kept saying, Fran, I'm not asking for directions. I want to hear the user experience. I want to hear what is important to the students, what's important to the faculty before I design and really create. And so he had been listening to HB teachers and faculty and students for over 20 years, and this is what he created, and we couldn't be happier. This is really an amazing, amazing product of that hard work. A couple more spaces. So this space, and there are about 3 or 4 of them around right now. I think we're gonna add 2 or 3 more. It is kind of a collaborative room. It's small enough, we're gonna have a couple tables in here when the furniture come. Something that maybe if I'm with a student or I'm collaborating, I'm in a small group of students, we need to share our ideas, we can put it up on the screen. But the idea that, you know, more and more group projects and team dynamics are a part of the future. And so how do we create spaces for that to happen naturally? So there are rooms just like this, where we've taken some of the great windows that overlook the fields and create a space for the girls to be able to collaborate easily and excitedly. And hopefully they can just sign up for spaces like this online, which would be just terrific. Right, so some of the before, we have some abatement going on upstairs. We have a little bit of, well, when you build a building in the 1920s, some of the fibers used in that building, you know, aren't really the best and up to standards today. So, but anyway, if you look in the ceiling here and you look at the walls, you see a little bit of our before. Really, the team at A.M. Higley took everything down to the studs and really tried to make sure that it hadn't really been down to the studs since the 40s. So if we're looking at a building for the next 50 plus years, how do we make sure we do it right? New HVAC systems, new heat, new fire suppression systems, new electrical lines, all new technology, really making that investment in the infrastructure for the future. And what a gift. I am grateful to all who helped donate to this project, and especially Addie Cobb Ward, who we will name the classic building after. So thank you so much for being on the tour. I hope to be able to give it to you live next Alumnae weekend. Have a great weekend.